Hello and welcome. Today we are going to discuss about power sharing. In a democratic country, when majority does not respect the views of minority, the minority groups get alienated and in the long run the nation crumbles. That's because in democracy, the power must not rest with any one organs of the government or the state. There must be intelligent sharings of power, sharing among legislature, executive and judiciary for the smooth working of democracy. So, power sharing is the essence of democracy. It means that power is distributed or divided to as many people as possible. And it is possible to share power among the center, the state and local government, especially with the minority, so that they can feel that they have a say in the government. Power sharing exists in political parties and pressure groups. Power is not concentrated with any one parties or any groups of peoples. But this idea of power sharing is not always there. In fact, for a long time it was believed that power sharing or power belongs to a government, or power should be reside with one person or group of persons or peoples located at one place. But when democracy emerged, these notions of power changed completely. Ideally, in democratic government, due respect is given to diverse groups that exist in the society. Everyone has a voice in shaping public opinion. In democratic country or in a democratic forms of government, political power needs to be distributed or shared among as many citizens as possible. To understand this, let us look at two stories from Belgium and Sri Lanka. Both the stories are about how democracy handled the demands of power sharing. So this story will help us to realize why there is a need for power sharing in democracy. Let us start with Belgium. So here Belgium. Let us start with the story of Belgium. As we all know that Belgium is a small country which is located in Europe continent, smaller in area than the state of Haryana. It has border with Netherlands, France and Germany. So it has a populations of a liters hours 1 crore, about half the populations of Haryana. The ethnic compositions of this small nations or small country is very complicated or very complex. Of the country total populations, 59% live in the Flemish regions and speak Dutch language, and another 40% people live in the Wallonia regions and speak French. Then remaining only 1% of Belgians, they speak German. So in the capital city Brussels, there's 80% people speak French, while 20% are Dutch speaking. All the neighboring countries are influencing this Belgium. So that is why the Belgian peoples are speaking different language. So the minority French speaking community was relatively rich and powerful, but this was resented by Dutch speaking community, who got the benefit of economic developments and educations much later. This leads to tensions between the Dutch speaking and the French speaking communities during the 1950s and 1960s. The tension between the two communities was more acute in Brussels, more severe in Brussels, because Brussels presented a special problem. The Dutch-speaking people constitute a majority in the country but a minority in the capital city, that is in Brussels. So let us compare. Just imagine what could have happened in situation like this. Well, they are very complex situations in a country like, very small country like Belgium. In Belgium, the Dutch community could take advantage of its numeric majority and force its wills on the French and German-speaking population. This would push the conflict among communities further. This could lead to a very messy partition of the country. Both sides would claim control over Brussels. And here, Belgium's leaders adopted the accommodations models. So the Belgian leaders took a different step or different paths. They recognized the existence of regional differences and cultural diversities. Between 1970s and 1993, they amended their constitution 4 times so as to work out an arrangement that would enable everyone to live together within the same country. The arrangement they work out is different from any other country and is very innovative also. Here, so the Belgians model adopted different elements or different steps of in order to overcome this complexity. Model number one, Constitution prescribed that the numbers of Dutch and French-speaking ministers shall be equal in the central government. Some special law require the support of majority of members from its linguistic groups. Thus, no single community can make decision unilaterally. Second element, many powers of the central government have been given to state governments of the 2 regions of the country. The state governments are not subordinate to the central government. Brussels has a separate government in which both the community have equal representations. The French-speaking people accepted equal representation in Brussels, in the capital city, because the Dutch-speaking community has accepted equal representation in the central government. And the third step or the third elements adopted by the Belgian leader is, apart from the central and the state government, there is a third kinds of government. They adopted the community government, community forms of government. This community is elected by the people belonging to one language community, that is Dutch, French, as well as German speaking, no matter where they live. This government has the power regarding cultural, educational, and language related issues. You may find that Belgium's model is very complicated. Indeed, it is very complicated even for the people living in Belgium. But this arrangement or model have worked well so far. They have to avoid civic war, civic strife between the two major communities and possible divisions or possible partitions of the country on linguistic line. So that is the story of how the Belgian leaders adopted different steps or different models in order to overcome the complexities they have facing. So in the next episodes or in the next class, we will be discussing about the Sri Lankan models. So thank you for today. Have a great day.